Okay, so the 2017 Honda, there was a lot of buzz around this bike and I absolutely love it. This bike has been amazing. Right off the showroom floor, these things are really just honestly about race ready to go, but there's still, in my opinion, some must-haves, there's some nice-to-haves, and then there's the if you look good, you feel good, you ride good factor, and we'll talk about that too. So to start off with the must-haves for a motorcycle, for me, for a motocross bike, you know, first thing I did is I threw on some Breakaway levers. I've got the ASV, the 6 Series levers. I like the look and the feel of these. I like the on-the-fly adjuster with the clutch side here. What I really like though is that they have a 6-year warranty. I don't know any other levers that have a 6-year warranty. If they break, you can just get them replaced, no questions asked. And they are Breakaway, so if you're like me, you have tip overs, you don't have to worry there. So Breakaway levers are a must-have. This bike already came with the skid plate. If it didn't, that's another one I would have thrown on there right away, but the skid plate on the 17 Honda is actually pretty good. So didn't have to do anything there. Radiator braces, Works Connection hooked it up, helped us out there. They threw on some radiator braces for us. I've got the black ones, look really good. The Honda radiators, in my opinion, are pretty flimsy, so a must-have, especially for these Hondas, get some radiator braces on there. I've also got another must-have is this Works Connection hour meter. You know, when it comes to doing maintenance on your bike, you've got to know what your intervals are, and this is the only way, really, in my opinion, the best way to keep track of your hours so you know when to change or when to do the maintenance on your bike. You know, always look at your owner's manual. That will tell you when you should be doing those jobs. What I really like about this one from Works Connection is you have an hour meter that is continuous. You can't change anything there, but they also have a second function where you can actually reset it. So in between your oil changes or whatever it is you want, you can reset it and keep track, and you know, just a cool feature there that I really like. Now my last must-have, now this might not seem like a very obvious one, is actually a graphics kit. You know, you gotta have your name and number, throw on the logos of the brands you're rocking. So a graphics kit is my last must-have, especially if you're gonna be racing. I've got Attack Graphics. They did the graphics on this bike for me. They do a really good job. Did all the customized logos that I wanted on there, and just rock solid job that these guys did for me. So those are my must-haves. Now let's move on to what I call the nice-to-haves. So starting up with the front, we'll kind of work our way back. So I like the ODI lock-on grips, super soft. The lock-ons are nice because you don't have to use ties, you don't have to use any grip glue. They just slide on, lock into place. I've got some ODI podium bars. I really like these bars. I like the bar pad. I've got the Wyndham bend. It's a bend I've always been used to. That's why I stuck with that. So I really like the ODI setup. Working down from there. Now on the 17 Honda, the stock seat cover, in my opinion, it felt like a slip and slide. It was really slippery, so I immediately wanted to get a different seat cover. So I got this Attack Graphics gripper seat cover. Really cool look to it. The material is much grippier than some of your stock seats that are out there, and it's got these ribs, which really, in my opinion, do actually help keep you planted, keep you seated on the bike. So I went and I got a seat cover put on. Now if we work our way down, Recluse, these guys are awesome. They hooked it up with their core manual torque drive clutch. Comes with everything inside, including the clutch cover, but they have a 12-plate stack, which they say improves the overall surface area, gives you better friction and better drive. So Recluse hooked that up there. Another nice to have on the bike is a Holeshot device. You know, if you're a racer, you know, off the starting gate, it's gonna keep the front end low. It's gonna help prevent wheeling off the start gate. So I've got a Works Connection on mine. I've had that before. They work really well, and I've used it, and I really do think they make a big difference. So definitely, if you don't have one, that's something I would definitely consider. So I've got the Tusk foot pegs that we offer at Rocky Mountain. Had those on a couple bikes, really like them. They're big, really do a good job of keeping your boots stuck to your foot pegs. A couple other nice to haves, Tusk impact wheel set. You don't absolutely have to have one. Stock wheels and hubs are good these days, but they look really good, and I just really like to have an extra set of wheels. If I get a flat tire, I don't have to try and change my tire real quick on the track. I can just swap out the entire tire or rim, but Tusk impact rims hold up really good, really solid option there. So I've got the front and the rear. They got the black with the red hubs, love them. Now another nice to have is gonna be an exhaust system. You don't absolutely need one. These 450s already put out so much power and they sound good, but FMF hooked it up, gave us an FMF 4.1 exhaust to throw on this bike. You know, right off the bottom, it gives a little bit more hit. You know, it kind of smooths out the power band, which is nice, and they're lighter. So FMF hooked it up, love the exhaust, and they also just sound amazing. Now from there, moving to the front, suspension work. Now these bikes come really good off the showroom floor, especially the 17 Honda. They went back to the spring forks. I rode this bike stock for a while, and it impressed me how good the suspension was. But, you know, if you're a motocross guy, if you're a racer, yeah, I think you can always make any bike better. So I set my bike off to Pro Action suspension. These guys have done my bikes before. I love these guys. I highly recommend it. If you have a Pro Action guy in your area, look them up. do a really good job of just revalving, get everything set up for the type of riding you do, and also just your weight. So Pro Action Suspension, gotta thank those guys, huge shout out, they hooked it up there. So now is probably my favorite part. This is the, if you look good, you feel good, and if you feel good, you're gonna ride good factor. So I threw on some parts on this bike, really just for aesthetics, to give the bike a cool look, customize it how I liked it. So I've got some nice Tusk Blink components on there in the front. I've got a shift lever down here. You know, everything just kind of really goes really well also with the ASV levers and the Works connections. I did a Works connection engine plug over here on the left side. That I think looks really good. And then on top again, you saw the graphics kit that I did. Just overall, it gives the bike a really good look, customized to how you like it, and I'm really happy with the way this bike came out. So this is my 2017 CRF450R. If you guys have any thoughts, comments, questions on this build, make sure you comment below, and everything that you saw on this bike you can get on our website. So go over to RockyMountainATVMC.com. A lot of these parts are machine specific, so you want to enter the make, the model, and the year of the bike you're riding, and then just scroll down and you'll see everything that we just talked about that's going to fit your motorcycle. I'm Chase here at Rocky Mountain, and we'll see you on the trails.